podcast with Alonzo in command. Brought to you by Compton Entertainment Chamber, across the land. News and information, straight and uncut, we deliver. Real talk every time, sharp like a sliver. Like and subscribe, stay tuned, let's time.
Good morning, folks. This is Alonzo, president of the Compton Entertainment Chamber of Commerce and the editor for the Hub City Legend newspaper. And this is what we do when we're not doing those other two things. We also have a podcast to share the information for the citizens of Compton and the surrounding areas. Today, we have a very interesting guest. She's bringing, I ain't going to say a brand new sport to Compton, but something you might not be familiar with. We have baseball stars, we have basketball stars, we have football stars from Compton. Now we're in the process of making cricket stars. Okay. All right. Our guest today is the executive director of the Southern California Junior Cricketers Academy. Nakia, how you doing today? I
am amazing. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I'm fine. I can't complain about anything at all. Nakia, tell me about the about cricket. First of all, tell people what cricket is, because some people might not be familiar.
Cricket is the number 2 for my last recollection, the number 2 sport in the world. It's a $1 billion+ sport. It's a gentleman's sport, but as I like to say it's everybody's sport. Cricket is similar to baseball, but it's its own sport. You can often see cricket being played across the seas, like say England, the UK, the West Indies, the Caribbean, etc. But cricket is a sport that brings community together. You know, it's really hard to define the sport as a sport when it's really a community. It pulls people together. It allows you to sit outside and enjoy each other throughout the day. So cricket, to me, is a community sport based on community, based on global stats, and most importantly, based on participation and collaboration.
Okay, is this the first year you guys brought cricket? I'm asking you dumb. I know the answer already, but I'm asking dumb questions like I never did this before. This is the first year you're bringing cricket to Compton?
Actually, no. So I want to go back just a few. I am actively the administration director for SCJCA. And I'm fortunate enough to do this opportunity and to have this role and to continue to further the mission that Mustafa Khan has created, being the root. Mustafa is the brains behind Southern California Junior Cricket Academy, as he likes to say I am, but he's really the brains. I'm just Pinky. But no, so this is now going into year 11 as of December 2026, but we just completed our 10-year anniversary. But what we're doing now is we're rebranding because we really want to become rooted in community by creating spaces for all youth, ages 5, sometimes 4, but 5 to 17, to have a safe place, a safe sport, and it's inclusive to everyone.
Now, is cricket a non-contact or a contact sport?
Traditionally is non-contact, but you can, of course, like any other sport, have some sorts of contact, but you really are the master of your own domain. If you're someone that loves to field, which is basically catching in out on the outfield, that's your domain. You are responsible for your area. If you're someone that bowls well, which is throwing, so much like a pitcher, it's called bowling in cricket, that pitch, which is our grass area where the game is essentially played on, is your domain area. So it's not necessarily a contact sport, but it is definitely an interactive and exertion that happens a lot in this sport.
Now, you guys right now are based in Kelly Park, or
yes.
that's your home? Tell us about the cricket field. Give us some insight on what the field might look like in the cricket game.
Absolutely. Cricket is such an amazing sport. It's definitely tailored, manicured, and pristine. And what I'm so proud about is last year, June 7, 2025, we were fortunate enough to install a cricket pitch, one of the first in Southern California in the Compton community area, Compton, Long Beach, surrounding communities. This pitch, which is a strip of grass, but it's manicured well, is essentially the part of the sport where it's played on this particular grass. But let's just say like a baseball diamond, the pitcher has a mound, but the entire field belongs to the team. So much like cricket, that we have a pitch for us to have the active play on, but around the surrounding areas, such as in the park area, that's where the ball goes. That's where the people play. So we're all over the park. We are definitely at Kelly Park. That is our home, and that's where we go.
How many players on each side?
Players on both sides it depends on your outfield. So when you're actually playing the sport, let's just say, I'm just going to continue to use the baseball analogy because that's pretty similar to it. Much like baseball, you have a pitcher, you have a catcher, and then everyone else is on the opposing team. So for cricket, you have the bowler and you have the catcher on both sides. So typically, if you're the one batting, it's just you and potentially another one of your teammates on the other side, because cricket, you run back and forth what they call the wickets, which are these three things that stand on both sides of the pitch. So you're running back and forth to essentially gain points. If you're the opposing team where you're on defense, then you have the bowler, the catcher, and then your outfielders to catch the ball.
Okay. All right. Now, you know what? I do remember cricket slightly. I remember back in the day when they were still issuing corporal punishment, somebody brought a cricket paddle to school and they used that on our behinds in St. Albert's for about a week. It was just too much. That's what I remember about cricket. But we're gonna leave that alone, okay? We're gonna leave that alone. That's a bad memory right there. Anyway.
When permission wasn't permission, but it was permission.
Permission, but it was mandatory.
Yes.
Is it an expensive sport to participate in?
I don't think it is. I think that it can be. Let's say that it can be, especially on the level of cricket that you play. If you're competitive, if you're international, you want to have the best gear, you want to have the best equipment. You also want to have the best trainers if you're, into your sport. However, we're a youth sports program, and we provide and we create. And so for our parents that participate in our program, it is not an expensive sport, but it can be.
So let me get this straight. The parents don't have to spend any money to participate in cricket?
Not in our program, you don't. Not in our program. We go after grants and sponsorships to assist our communities.
We got to make sure that's absolutely clear, because when your kids get involved, especially, I know my daughter, she has sons that were playing football. It's $500 per kid. $350 for my granddaughter this year. I'm like, kick palm is $350. Anyway, and that can be a nice setback, especially in these days. But now you have an opportunity to participate in not a new sport at all. It's just new to our area. Am I correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
Now, I heard, now tell me if it's true or not, that the Compton cricket team went to Torrance and beat some much more experienced teams. How true is that?
That's very true. I wasn't a part of the program at that time, but I celebrate the history and what's currently happening, and that is very much true. Yes.
So Compton's, I'm going to say rookie teams, but less experienced teams went across town to some more experienced teams and showed out, in other words.
Absolutely. CPT all day. Absolutely.
Now, when you hear stories like that, that lets you know that the greatness of Compton is ready to shine in a whole other sport, and that sport is cricket. Now, if you're not familiar with cricket, what day is your next? May 23rd, right? May 23rd.
Yes. Yes. So currently,
go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say May 23rd at Kelly Park.
Yes. So we're currently in a cohort right now with students, approximately 40, which I celebrate to have 40 youth from age 4.5 to 17, well now 18 because it's senior high school, to have students come up every Saturday during this cohort to be introduced to cricket, to be introduced to other versions of diverse communities, to interact with one another, and to have parents bring them and stick around and interact and want to get involved is just one of the most amazing things ever. And what I said earlier is cricket is a community sport based on how I'm seeing this sport. Yes, it's a sport. Yes, it's interactive. Yes, it's competitive. But if you were to, let's say, go back and watch, which is free on YouTube, Fire in Babylon, it highlights Caribbean cricketers and what their experience was, specifically Black cricketers. And in
She froze a little bit. We're gonna be all right. She'll be right back. Come on.
we don't look at cricket as a sport that's going to get our young people out of their circumstances. They can get NIL deals and go on to make millions and millions of dollars. That's quite opposite with cricket, but it's actually not. Cricket goes off of your stats globally. So let's just say you're a 10-year-old and you bat really, really well. Your stats are in a global database. So you could be in Sri Lanka as a coach and look on the global database and say, hey, I see someone in Compton that bowls or bats or fields at this particular average, which is really high compared to the adults that are playing. We want to invite this young person out to join our team to compete against other teams. And those things happen all of the time. For example, we have 2 players from Compton right now on our team, John and Jonathan Tatum, who are going to England this June to go play with youth cricketers that are already have been playing with one another for quite some time.
So it's like an international all-star team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it's about communication, collaboration, and partnerships. And we have great partnerships with other SCCA teams, youth cricket teams, their coaches. And so even though Compton currently doesn't have a team, which we are building, we still get opportunities and invites to join and participate in other games because their average of the sport, the game, let's say bowling, batting, or whatever, could be high and could benefit that team overall. So, yeah. You don't have to be a Laker to be a Laker. You can be a Laker and play on the Clippers.
Okay. All right. I find this very interesting. I'm going to have to come out on the 23rd and check you guys out. I have only experienced cricket from the business end, like I said earlier. So I have to come out there and be a spectator to get a full idea of what cricket's all about. And I got to give a shout out to my man, Mustafa Khan. We go back, and another buddy of mine was promoting cricket back in the day, and Mustafa took it and ran with it, and I'm glad to see he brought it to Compton, and I'm glad to see you are the executive director over the Southern California Junior Cricket Academy. Compton is welcome cricket. It's here. Who will be the Venus Serena of cricket? Who will be the Dr. Dre, the Kendrick Lamar of cricket? Compton, something about Compton, I haven't figured it out yet. I don't know whether it's the water, the smog from the freeways. I don't know. But Compton, whatever we do, we always do it to another level.
100%.
I'm quite sure cricket will be another sport that we will have some superstars emerging from. So shout out to everybody on the way up. Okay. Now, so before we go, get it clear. To participate, can they still sign up? That's what
For our current cohort, we're closed only because we're now going into week 4. And what we're doing now is preparing our students for their scrimmage against other teams, against themselves. And we're preparing for their end of cohort banquet, which they will be getting some amazing things and having some amazing speakers come out to just celebrate them, which we will be hosting at the lab May 22nd. May 23rd, we are hosting our community cricket day. We are inviting the entire community of Compton to come out. And if you came to the opening last year of our cricket pitch, there was over 200 people. So we're expecting this to be just as big and better, where there will be an active game happening. Our kids will start early to allow other youth teams to play after, while our program, hosts the community. There's going to be music. We have a mobile batting cage so you can practice your cricket batting in a safe environment. We're going to have free food. It's just going to be a family affair. And like I said, if you've watched Fire in Babylon, or I encourage you to do so on YouTube, you can understand why this is so important for our community. And also April 1st on our website, www.scjcacademy.org, you can start to enroll your student for our summer program, which is going to be dynamic. We're taking the kids potentially to Oakland to watch the championship cricket game from international cricket players who are currently going through tournaments to prepare for their final championship game at the Oakland Coliseum. So we will be preparing to go up there. And in August, annually, we take our kids to Napa Valley, where they do participate in cricket games with the Golden Oldies, which is an older retired group of men who continue to play cricket and continue to compete against other teams. So we take them everywhere. We want them to see everything that's happening inside their community, but we also want them to be accustomed to seeing things outside of the community. And we encourage you to sign your kids up.
Fantastic. I think with that being said, that's a good interview, dear. We can wrap this one up. All right. Nakia, Hannah, thank you for coming out. Once again, a shout out to my man, Mustafa Khan, for making this happen. Cricket coming to Compton. Well, cricket is in Compton, folks. May 23rd is the big for all the community come out and support our cricket team, folks. This is Lonzo, president of the Compton Entertainment Chamber of Commerce, along with Nakia, the executive director of the SCJCA. There you go. All right, folks. I have a blessed day. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.